Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Taimanin. Today we're going to talk about the new LR rarity, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you need the content. So we're going to explore everything, like how do you get the items, how long it takes to evolve your weapons, which you should be prioritizing, and whatnot. So let's get right into it. So as you can see, we do have the new rarity for our gear. To evolve our weapons, we'll have to go to the Evolve tab once you upgraded it to max on the UR rarity. And well, one thing that we should highlight is that you cannot evolve, well, as of this moment, we cannot evolve SR gear into UR gear, only UR gear into LR gear. In order to evolve, you'll need various materials, alloy ingot, or stellar, or legacy, and or evolutionary. And well, it will be the same for a supporter, but with the supporter materials: Tome of Secrets, Shard Arcane, Shard Legacy, and Shard Evolutionary. In order to get the legacy items, you'll have to run on the daily quest. Any daily quest works. The ore quest and the gold quest provide the ore legacy, and the daily quest for shards and the bit model quest is going to give you the shards legacy. These only drop on expert. As you can see, they do not appear on other difficulties. It's also noteworthy that you can also get these items on the secret quest. And on the secret quest, they have a 1.2% drop rate, which is higher than the 0.5% drop rate on daily quest. Now, we're not limited to that. You can also craft these items, which I am crafting, by the way. But something that you'll notice is that it takes a long time to actually craft this in bulk. So it's the thing that is going to take the most. Like, getting the materials is not difficult for these two legacy items, but waiting for them takes a while. And as you can see, oh my god, I need to craft more of this. I didn't notice how much I spent. Okay, so I'll be crafting some of this. To craft the esoteric shard and the lunar ore, you'll have to go to craft to the craft level number 4, and here you'll be able to craft more. It is not difficult to do so, but you'll need resources, that's for sure. Now, the issue comes when we see the shard evolutionary and ore evolutionary. So for whatever reason, Gremory decided to make this by using 3 nanomachines or 3 demonites, which is not viable at all. But that's something that if you want to vocalize your disdain about these costs, please do so in a respectful way. Tell Gremory that this is not viable or such, but don't like bombard them with negativity. Just objectively say that you disagree with this. And well, yeah, it's going to take you basically 3 nanomachines or 3 demonite plus 3 of the lunar or the esoteric shard. Now, there's an alternative. On the exchange facility, you can use the evolution catalyst. When you do so, depending on what you're exchanging, you'll get either the evolutionary shard or the evolutionary ore. Unfortunately, no matter the amount of gear that you put, you'll only get 1 evolutionary ore or 1 evolutionary shard. I was expecting if I put 4 weapons, I'll get 4 shards, 4 ores. But no, that's That's not the case, which is pretty bad. I honestly hope that they basically give us one monthly evolution catalyst. Otherwise, this system is gonna be unbearable for every single player. But we'll have to see. If you want to get your own copy of the evolutionary catalyst, you can get one at floor 150, which is an ordeal, I know, but there's an FTP way to get at least one copy of this. Where else can you get this? Well, other than crafting, it's gonna come probably on the jump up packs from now on. I mean, this one is particular because it is a collab jump up pack, but I think it's gonna be available on the jump up packs. Even so, those are extremely expensive, not really worth it, really annoying. Also, there's the monthly packs. On the monthly packs, you can grab one of these that comes with legacy shards and a nanomachine blueprints creator. And the same can be said for the weapon one. But I mean, $40 for this is not really good. I'm gonna grab the free one. You can also grab these dailies for $1. Not expensive, but I wouldn't recommend that you do so. Just keep that in mind because we're gonna check what you do with this, and you're gonna understand why it's not viable to spend money on this. And well, now we have these ones, the packages with nanomachines and demonite on the weekly tab. Because they want us to spend more over here. It is basically a whale system, unfortunately. But there are certain things that are good. And honestly, it's not good that it's a whale system and it uses the nanomachine and demonites. That's pretty bad. I was expecting it to use the legacy items, in fact, along with these esoteric shard and ore, lunar ore, in order to craft this. That would have made a lot more sense. But no, they decided to make it pay to win. So yeah. Anyways, let's continue. Let's check what's the benefit of actually crafting these items, getting these items and using them. So for that, we go here. So as you saw, it cost one of these evolutionary items to enhance your weapon to unlock level 65. But after that, your weapon will not have any of these hexagons. I think these are hexagons, yes. So it won't have any of these hexagons. I already have one, as you can see. And that's because I further evolved it. And it cost me another one of those evolutionary ores. And for the last level that it unlocks level 75, you'll need 2 evolutionary shards. That's 4 evolutionary shards total, and to craft one of these, you'll need 3 demonites, so that's 12 demonites to max out a weapon. Honestly, I don't think this is a good idea. I would rather change it so that it's F2P, or at least so that it's 1 demonite, because according to how much demonites we can get per month, I mean, it's 1 guaranteed, basically each 2 months. So it would be better if they just reduce the requirements. But well, it is what it is. The benefit of doing this is the fact that we increase our attack and critical tremendously, as you can see. That is going to increase your score, is going to allow you to clear stuff faster. It is very good overall. It is just the fact that it's expensive and a well system. That's the only drawback of this system. And well, over here we can see that as we evolve the weapon, we're going to unlock slots which have different effects. You can use these numbers as an example, because we can notice that at level 3, the a damage reduction coming from machines is higher than the damage reduction from bosses at level 4. What does that mean? Why does that matter? Well, because that means that the trade effects are going to be overall better. We can use these to roll for different effects, and these are all the effects that you can see on the weapon. Basically, the one that you want to get is probably specialized damage if you want to partake in Total War and joint training, the ladder on joint training. If you don't care about that, there's other options for you. Penetration, increase damage against bosses, or increase damage against all enemies. If you don't care about like the ladder, you can just go for this one that are way better and are going to allow you to use that character for different kind of contents, unlike making a specialized character. The damage reduction effects, while useful, the games always revolve around eliminating the enemy, and that means dealing damage. That's all I'm gonna say. So, yeah. Though, something that you are going to notice is that the effects are different for the supporters. The supporters are gonna have two relevant damaging effects, or well, offensive effects, let's say. One is critical rate increase, and the other one is critical damage increase. The one that we want for the meta relevant supporters is going to be damage increase. The ones that you want for the rest of them is going to be probably defensive effects. The Fortitude I would not recommend. It is basically a pseudo invincibility, but it is not that great of an effect. HP increase, not bad. Reduce damage taken from bosses, not bad. Reduce damage taken from all enemies, not bad. Reduce damage taken from specialized traits, that I wouldn't recommend unless the supporter you're using has a specialized trait damage reduction, like Major, for example. So, now we're going to do a couple rolls on the weapon. I want to try and get this effect, the anti-human. So, as you can see, it's going to consume 10, and we can increase this and reset until option is maxed, okay? And it's going to consume this much gold. Yeah, it took me a while to get this amount of, what's the name? Of legacy items. Just for reference, it took me like 3,000, no, 30,000 AP, something like that. Basically, I refill my AP bar to max thrice. And I have, when farming, this is very, very important. When farming, you want to optimize farming to the best build possible. Basically, you want to have these affinity effects so that you increase your drop rate, and you also want to have a copy of where is this girl? I guess I'll just put the character. You want to have equip the Yasuna supporter and the Mercy supporter. And if at all possible, you want to have the Heavy Shika effect active. Right now I have it active. I use a potion, a 1-day potion, just to farm today and test this. So yeah, that's very important. Like, maximize your drops if you're going to farm. That way it's worth it. Now, let's go back to that item and let's reroll. Let's see, no, not forge, reroll. Let's see if I can get one of those effects. Max out. Let's go with 10. Increase damage against all enemies. Okay, I'll take it. It's better than what I have right now. And it consumed the weapons and it didn't get what I wanted. Nice. Yeah, this is going to be basically the same as the Magatama effects. At the minimum, you want like 200 of these to guarantee the effect. And I say at minimum because sometimes it takes way more than that. So, yeah, not the best system. God, that only oof, oof, oof. Let's see. 6% against 5. God, that's awful. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Let's see. I'll just do 2 and let's see. No, I'll maintain the one that I have. Yeah, so this is going to take a lot of resources, guys. A long time to get, and that's where we're going on this next part. So now you know how the system works, what you want to be, how you want to be spending your materials and such. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is not something that is meant to be maxed out for every weapon. In fact, had it not been pay to win with a pay to win system, this would have been amazing because it would have given us the ability to see different teams on challenging content on the ladder. Because if people can just pay to get the best weapons and supporters, they're gonna do it. There's gonna be like maybe 10 people, 20 people that do that and just have the best effects in slots so that they maximize their score. But since it's very difficult to get this, like you're going to maybe, and I'm being like being hopeful, maybe it's not gonna be that easy, but let's say that every 3 months you're able to max one weapon. That would mean that you have a very strong character that is better than others, and it would be difficult to keep up with the meta if we have to change a character and now we have a better weapon. It would be difficult to replace Aina. Even if we have the meta weapon max out, even if we have the meta character max out, getting that character to use LR to the LR rarity, the weapon to LR rarity, it would take a while, and it would mean that in the meantime we can keep using the previous meta character and we could see different builds. That would be the saving grace of this system, and it's okay if it takes a lot of time, but it is not okay if you can just pay to skip all that grind and just have the strong weapon. So that's the part where I disagree. Now, you know where to get the materials, you know how to spend them, but what should you be spending them on? Well, basically, one super easy way to decide what you want to build is to check the builds on Total War. Like, that's a great example. Look at this one. Instead of going with LR Maika, this person went with LR Hisui and LR Lanshan, as well as LR Tempest. And over here, no LR gear. I wonder why. Well, that's easy. The supporters that we use don't need to be LR. The ones that need to be LR, for the whole team I mean, the ones that need to be LR are the ones for the main attacker. And right now, Aina is the best attacker you can get, but she'll probably drop soon-ish. I foresee that we're gonna receive a different boss in the future, and maybe Aina won't be the best character for this. Aina will probably still be one of the best characters for fighting Astaroth, but once we get a new boss, she'll probably drop. Hisui is an excellent pick because every meta build uses this because of the super buff, and increasing the damage of Hisui is very useful. Lan is another excellent pick, but she's only good if the main damaging character has the ability to combo quickly. If the character is slow and doesn't do a ton of combos, then this is not going to be useful. So she might as well drop in usage. Preferably, you do, well, supporters that have a lot of damage. For example, who? Well, the founding three. I'm just going to do this. Yeah, like this. That's better. The founding three is a great option because you become extremely tanky. You have a lot of damage, and the effects are going to be very useful. You could also use it on F2P options that are meta relevant, like Melt, or like Melt is F2P, and its premium counterpart that it's on the permanent gacha is Kana. That's also a great option to use the LR. Try to go for the supporters that give the most damage. The New Year Felicia, for example. Where is New Year Felicia? Over here. New Year Felicia gives a ton of damage. Where is she? Lan, of course, as I mentioned, but she's only going to be relevant as long as the main attacker do those combos. Where is Bride? Bride and Rose. I don't see Bride and Rose, but Bride and Rose is another here. Bride and Rose is another excellent supporter. Enhancing the supporters for your teammates, the ones that give you buffs and debuffs against the boss, is another option. Yes, it's gonna be not this. Over here, yeah. It's gonna be important, but it's not the priority. First, focus on basically all the things that you're gonna put on your main attacker, and once you're done with that, you can start considering enhancing certain supporters to LR, like Cromwell, like exactly, Mirabelle, like Yellow Yaksha White. Those are gonna be useful. Weapons. For weapons, well, I might as well do a video on one single weapon for every character, or well, one or two weapons for every character that you should LR. But basically, right now, the important weapons to LR are the weapons of the strongest attackers in the game. First of all, I already mentioned Aina. After Aina, which other attacker do we have? We have Saika. For Saika, you would want Boost Greaves. Though, remember that right now we don't want to enhance melee weapons because Astaroth is not going to allow you to use those attackers right now. But it is worth it nonetheless. Same about Anaros. For Anaros, you could go with the Gundari, sure, but the Kahahirako is way better, in my opinion. It is one of the best weapons in the game. All butterfly weapons are great, but this one is right now the best butterfly weapon. Then, which other attacker do we have that is just busted? Oh yeah, Sora. Sora is an excellent choice if you want to partake on the on Total War, because right now Astaroth is going to be weak against ranged attackers, and Sora is a ranged attacker, and the Chinompu is a great weapon, as we know. So yeah, basically just go with the meta options right now. Now, if you are not interested in getting a good score on um, Total War or Joint Training, in that case, use your resources for your favorite characters. As simple as that. The one that you're going to play the most, just use those um evolutionary items on those. If your favorite character is, I don't know, let's say Micah, you can go with Deep Impact. If your favorite character is Kurenai, you can go with Grindhouse Special. Whichever strong weapon you have that it's used by your favorite character, like enhance that. Wipe over meta, that's a thing, and for the most part, it's what most people are going to do. So don't worry too much about it. You don't have to be on the top ladder. Just have fun with the game. And well, in the case of supporters, if you're not going to um, worry about the meta, my top recommendation would be where is she? Here, Massacre Grenade. This is a great supporter. If you participated in the campaign and you have copies, like most copies of this, it is a great supporter, and the extra stacks are going to highly benefit that. If not, go with whichever damage increase supporter that you like, or your favorite one. Just don't grab something that's not gonna be useful on the long run, like Haru. Haru is gonna get is gonna retire soon enough, just so that you know. That's funny, but yeah. Anyways, that's about it for today. I hope you find this useful, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.